Today we're making these individual cheesecake bites. Let's get started. The first thing we're going to do is crush up some graham crackers. We need about 1 1/4 cup of crushed graham crackers. That's about 1 whole sleeve. We're going to pulse this until it's all crumbled up. A sturdy Ziploc bag and a rolling pin are good options if you don't have one of these. Measure out 1 1/4 cups and set that to the side. To a microwave safe bowl, we're going to melt 5 tablespoons of butter. While that's in the microwave, grab your 8x8 baking dish and line it with some parchment paper. I did use a little non-stick cooking spray on the baking dish as a glue for my parchment paper. Add your melted butter to the graham cracker crumbs and mix until it looks like all of your crumbs are coated. You could add a tablespoon of sugar if you wanted a more sweet tasting crust. I think the graham crackers are sweet enough as it is, so I'm just going to leave it like this. Take your butter coated crumbs and dump them into your prepared baking dish. Press it firmly into the bottom of the pan as evenly as you can. We're going to bake this real quick in the oven at 350 degrees for 5 minutes. While that's in the oven, we're going to work on our cheesecake filling. To a bowl, we're going to add 16 ounces of softened cream cheese. We're going to beat this up a bit before we add in our other ingredients. Okay, this looks good. Add in 1/2 cup of sour cream. I mistakenly grabbed my 1/4 cup, so I had to do it twice. Good thing I noticed, right? Disaster averted. Add in 1/4 cup of sugar, 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, and 2 eggs. We're gonna mix this on low speed until everything looks nice and smooth. By now, the graham cracker crust should be done and out of the oven. You don't have to wait for it to cool down, just add your filling right in. Smooth out the top and into the oven at 350 degrees for 35 to 40 minutes. I would check it at 35 minutes. You want there to still be a 2 to 3 inch wobbly spot in the center of your cheesecake. Also to note, I did do some Googling and learned that if your cheesecake cracks, you might have done one of 2 things wrong. Either you mixed the ingredients too vigorously and created air bubbles in the cheesecake, or the cheesecake is possibly overbaked. Apparently, air is cheesecake's worst enemy as it can expand the cheesecake during the baking process and then crack as it tries to escape. So lesson learned. It's not really going to matter anyway. We're going to slice this up into a bunch of bite-sized pieces. But before we do that, we need to cover this with some foil or plastic wrap and stick it in the freezer for at least 3 hours to harden or overnight. Once it has had a chance to harden, we're going to cut this into strips and then into squares. If at any point your cheesecake starts to soften up a bit, stick it back in the freezer. You're going to have a horrible time dipping these if they start to soften. Once you are ready to dip, you're going to melt 2 cups of melting candies for about 1 to 2 minutes, stirring every 30 seconds or so. If you don't have melting candies and want to use regular semi-sweet chocolate chips, that works too. You might have to add in a spoonful or 2 of any flavorless, odorless oil, such as vegetable oil or coconut oil, to thin out your chocolate. And please, whatever you do, don't do what I'm doing right here. Never place your delicate chocolate-covered cheesecake bites on a cooling rack to drip dry. Oh my goodness. Oh no. You'd think this was my first time using melting chocolate or something. Holy moly. I'm normally not this dumb. Yes, the cheesecake bites hardened to the wire rack. Yes, the bottoms partially popped off on some of them. It was a sad afternoon. I'll never do that again. I don't even know why I did it. I certainly know better. Whatever. They still tasted good. They just looked hideous. Oh well. They might not have turned out the way I wanted, but they still tasted good. If you're interested, I will add a recipe card right here. Thanks for watching my train wreck today. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss out, and I'll see you all in the next video.